welcome to Season 3, Episode 7. Today is about the multi-chain universe. So let's get straight into it. This week, basically, it's about getting cross-chain up and getting our testnet ready on these other chains or other worlds. We've realized cross-chain, what makes cross-chain really cool about Arc is that it's truly interoperable and kind of acts like this messaging layer where once you have a score on one chain, it goes to every other chain. So your Ethereum score is now available on Polygon, on Avalanche, or anything else. So your credit score is also cross-chain from day one. So there's a ton of really cool implications and things that we're keen to share. But that's kind of where our focus is this week, and kind of understanding like what are the gotchas that come along with that. And second of all is we want to release the new UI plus the brand. So you may have seen it floating around the place, but we've got a new logo coming out, which is will resonate with a lot of people. And I think with this new logo, it almost will feel like that Arc. If you see that, you'll know what it is. So yeah, that's gonna be very, very cool to see come live. And next week we'll be working on getting our custom scoring infrastructure up and running. In terms of protocol health, mainly we just had trading fees come through. It's about like 10 grand, 9 grand, and we had 20 new passports issued. So passport issuance is kind of tapered off a bit, and that's fine. Like given we're going to be like going through custom scores and adding more utility over time. So yeah, like the rate of growth of that, I'd expect in the future to pick up, but it is what it is for now. In terms of the weekly summary, so key points from last week. Basically, we got higher resolution around the cross-chain architecture. So, for example, it's like if you're eligible to get your passport on Ethereum, does that mean when you go on Polygon, you need the Polygon eligibility? There's a lot of weird edge cases that aren't hard technically, but it's just coming and making a decision against it. So that's that. Then it's thinking through about how we build custom scores, and we're really excited around this point because when you think about this universe of reputation, no one has attempted reputation, or like there's been a lot of blockers. So now that we can actually enable these more like futuristic use cases of only the best kind of users in this community can get access to this, we're just thinking like how we want to build these custom scores, how do we make them transparent, accessible, fair, and more importantly, easy to build and test out to see what resonates with the community. The other thing is we're thinking through how we build out our content marketing BD flows. So we're good at shipping product now, but we're not as great at communicating what we're doing. So a lot of effort is now going into like improving those communication flows and just cleaning a lot of things up. So key points for this week, I mean, covered a bunch of it, but it's like announcing the new brand and new UI, building out cross-chain, getting it tested, and I guess some of the other points is like settling in the different teams. So we've got kind of the product team that builds products, and we're now kind of settling in this new business team alongside the data and ML team. So we're just going to have a lot more specialization across the stack that's going to start taking place, and a lot of gaps that we had previously should hopefully be taken care of. So yeah, and also we're just like moving forward with getting this foundation structure set up for some potential future fundraiser purposes, but yeah, that's a separate thing. And then I guess shout out is give one to Liam, just been a real gun with taking things, handling the ambiguity, and also just jumping through a lot of those BD challenges, because one day would love to share with you that crypto BD is unlike any other kind of BD in your life that you'll experience, and the rules and dynamics of the game are way more complex than you could ever imagine. So good work on your perseverance there. Challenges that we're working through is just like essentially team building, and then kind of closing out these last 2-3 key hires. We've got some good candidates for each of them that we're keen to see play out, but even if we don't close them, we're not like kind of mega stressed. So it's more like we have these nice to have hires, and once we close them out, we can say like goodbye to hiring for a bit, which will be very exciting. So that's it on mine. I will pass it to Gabe for engineering.
Sounds good. Thank you. So last week's focus was mainly cross-chain and UI. So that's what we've been doing. We stayed on track. So as it's outlined here, we prepared our contract for this credit scoring for the new cross-chain infrastructure. We did very good progress on the new UI that will be shipped sometime this week. And we also adapted the backend. It's like this new cross-chain thing is like an iceberg. There's a top, which is just adapting the UI a little bit with for cross-chain changes, and then the lower part of the iceberg is the backend. And a lot of work has been in the backend, but we've been doing very good progress there as well. We also have Passport.js very close to production. Passport.js is a library that allows you to allows partners to input to put like an address in this React component, and it will display a nice 3D passport, like DeFi passport on the screen in the app. So you'll see about that sometime soon as well. We improved our error reporting and just more UI bug fixes. It's possible that the UI is not perfect right now. That's because we're waiting for the new UI changes to be shipped so that we do a full release. Key points for this week, as I said, release the UI and test the cross-chain functionality on the Polygon testnet. So Polygon is going to be the first network other than Ethereum that we're gonna be on. Shout out to Alex, who's still here, nice, for doing a massive amount of work on the back end. So that's been super helpful, and Kyle as well. Kyle has already been received a couple shout outs, so it's Alex's turn this time. And challenges we're working through is essentially we're all on different time zones, and it's kind of a challenge to time our releases. We tried to stick to every Monday we do a release, but because there's like always like last minute changes on Monday, we also want to give some time for the testing pipeline as well. And it's a bit, and like given the different time zones, it's a bit hard to it's a bit of a challenge to sync and release on Monday per se, but we're going to release when we're ready this week. So yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. Over to you, Kel, on the data ML side.
Oh, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. So data and ML. Big thing was we got our first cross-chain ledger into the data warehouse. So it's very, very exciting. And that sets up a lot of infrastructure to ingest more and more chains and put them in. So that was very, very exciting. Other big things is we had an API that kind of connected a lot of the stuff coming out of the data end of ArcX into the contracts and the front end side of ArcX. And I've been working with the web guys to kind of improve that. That's in that shout out. I feel like I shout out Kyle every single week, but Kyle is, the man at the moment for me. He's been helping me so much. There'll be definitely more shout outs to the ML engineers as they are starting to spin. And the last kind of point from last week is just data ops, ML ops. So the model is built. The model just needs to make sure that we're monitoring it, we're happy with it, we're setting all these parameters correctly. So it's just a few little tweaks there to make sure everything's super robust for go live. So key points for this week is just monitoring and the ML ops, the credit scoring model. So we've got Angel, who's on the call. He's working on that at the moment, which is very fun. Continued risk modeling. We've got our other ML engineer getting more and more into that. So we'll have all of our risk parameters set. And then the last thing that Kerman mentioned earlier is custom scoring. So that is just setting up that infrastructure, making sure we got a really quick development cycle. That's why there's been this focus on data ops, ML ops, to make sure custom scores can be done like that. So that's going to be really, really important. Challenges working through. As Kerman mentioned, as I've mentioned in previous updates too, we've been building this data team out. So there's this really big push now to make sure that we seed that culture and make it really, really cool. As cool as basically the contracts and the web guys and the business guys. Like they're all really cool cultures, and just making sure that we invest the same energy in getting to that point. And then last thing is just some challenges working through of like automation of QA. It's very different the way that you need to do QA with models as it is to software. Software is like effectively run a test, it should be deterministic. Models are very, very different. You need to consider the state of the data, the state of the trained model, and make sure everything kind of links up and makes sense. And if the data changes, how's that going to influence the model? A little bit complicated, but fortunately, that's why we've got a data team now to look into it more. So that's one challenge we're working through. That's my update. So I think last up is Liam.
Cool.
Great. Thank you. So, so key points from last week. Really, I began the custom score design. So, that's really a big sort of milestone from last week. And then in terms of, I suppose, relating to that is really the change in direction for the BD flow. So really what's happening is like we've been leaning on skins a lot in the market in terms of as we've been building things up, just to kind of keep the communities engaged and find new ways to network through different protocols. And where we're getting to now essentially is doing deeper level integrations, and this is where custom scores come on. So really we're using a lot of our learnings from developing the credit score to develop scores for lots of different things, whether it be loyalty scores, governance scores, and things like that. So there was, that was moving into that sort of territory and working at finding ways to develop custom scores was sort of the thing that was overcome last week. And then also we're doing more to set up the business team as well and getting processes in order there. And as you can see, there's some operations and community slides. We're sort of revamping those for next week, and because there's some processes internally that we're building up. So what are the key points for this week? So really just formalizing some of the cross-chain timelines in terms of my outbound comms, just setting the right expectations with people. We're looking at a timeline of late this month for some of these components. So it's just doing the messaging there on the BD side and tying up announcements. Someone's got their mic on. And then I'm also going to be putting out a forum post around an ArcX score. Hang on, I'm just going to mute this person. Sorry, you're going to be sorry. So this week I'm doing the ArcX score. So really, I'll be putting a forum post out around this, but it's essentially the first custom score which relates to our protocol and how we want to distribute rewards and do governance and things like that. So there'll be more details there up on the forum. And then there's also the XP score that I'm working with a number of our contributors. Essentially, it's almost kind of like an updated DGen score. I think there's going to be a little bit more nuance to it than that. But the idea being, were you around in these key ETH sort of moments in time? And is there a record of that? And, what's your score essentially? And there's 2 more partnership announcements going out. They are related to skins, but everything moving forward is going to be related to integrations. And really the reason behind this as well is that the partners that we're doing at the moment have actually integrated and shipped our ArcJS component. So we're actually getting to the point where other projects are shipping our code in their protocols. And that's actually really hard to do. And because we're doing skins and skins are really shiny, the market doesn't realize that these projects are integrating passport functionality. So that's something that we're gonna be working to make sure that messaging gets through a lot clearer. Carl's doing some animations there, and so a big shout out. So Kerman and Kale, thanks. So really the context here was Kerman really helped me understand how to interpret Etherscan logs, and which is really important for developing custom scores. So yeah, like going a lot deeper into the BD process, I actually have a lot better of understanding of what I'm talking about now when I'm working with people's smart contracts and things like that. And it's just helping me progress skills a lot faster. I also want to shout out to Kale for helping orientate me through some of the data processes and getting me up to speed on that side, because I'm sure you know I'm going to be needing to lean on that team a lot more as well. So yeah, high level goals we're working on: custom score wins, cross chain launches, integrations, dialing back on skins, dialing up on scores, and growing the business team. So that's everything at the moment. All right, Kerman, you're just on mute.
Hi, everyone.
Cool. Yeah, Daniel,
Yep.
over to you.
Yep, sorry, Daniel here from Llama. I just wanted to give a quick update on AGA1. So, as with broader crypto markets, AGA1 was down in September, just under 7%. Good news is we've made most of that back up in October already. So, about 15,000 of that has come back. We made 2 allocations this month, which we added to our staked ETH position and initiated a position in Convex Curve, which I'll basically, get the benefits of Curve, but then earn some additional yield on top of that. And then the last slide is just the Uni V3 update, which Kerman touched on earlier.
Cool, sweet. Thanks a lot for that, Daniel. Yeah, I think we've got like an AIP coming out soon for the next 6 months of operating budget, so stay tuned for that. But apart from that, thank you all for jumping in or tuning into season 3, episode 7. These episodes are gonna get more and more fun, but appreciate everyone making the time to come on here, and catch everyone else around. See ya. Bye.